Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. So in today's video we are going to cover Kaspa, its recent price action, couple of interesting metrics for Kaspa, couple of tweets, and of course we are going to cover BTC, and we are going to cover a couple of altcoin charts too. So guys, we are going to put ourselves into perspective and what we can expect for Kaspa and also in general in coming weeks, let's say. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that this video is not a financial advice. And now let's hop into Kaspa itself. So Kaspa is currently trading at 11 cents and is currently experiencing a leg down on a daily of 2%. Now the market cap is currently sitting at 2.6 billion USD and 24-hour trading volume is currently sitting at 55.5 billion USD. So obviously another day of boredom if it comes to, the whole crypto space pretty much. Most of alts are experiencing that pullback still, and we are going sideways pretty much. So I do feel your pain, guys, because unfortunately, I do have to admit that I haven't sold my bags. I mean the profits, even if I felt that we could see some pullback. So I do understand that you guys are most likely annoyed, because you probably got into Kaspa, let's say in the last couple of weeks or couple of months. You would like to see those gains sooner rather than later. However, I do believe that if we have missed this huge pump and we haven't sold at, let's say, local top and bought again during this pullback, the only thing that we can do at the moment is to remind ourselves that pullbacks are for buying and those dips are for buying pretty much. So what we can do at the moment is buy the dip pretty much, if it comes to Kaspa or any other project, because I do believe that this pullback isn't going to last forever. None of them did last forever, so we do have to be ready and pack our bags further. So now guys, this is something that you saw in the thumbnail, right? And why is this a big deal? So first of all, shout out to Kaspa enthusiast on Twitter. And now guys, already over 15% of nodes at Kaspa are running on Rust. In the last 24 hours, the share has increased by almost 5%. If it continues at this pace, we will have the 50% of the Kaspa network on Rust faster than expected in the last few days. So guys, this is a big deal. And now you're probably thinking, what does it do? So in simple terms, a Rust migration on Kaspa is a process where the Kaspa network, which is built using the Rust programming language, undergoes changes or updates. So these changes could involve improving the network's performance, fixing bugs, adding new features, or enhancing security measures, just like how software updates on your phone or computer improve its functionality. A Rust migration on Kaspa aims to make the network better and more efficient. So of course, if we are going to have, Kaspa fully running on Rust, guys, that is going to be a big deal. And what is going to come with that? Obviously KRC20, smart contracts, etc. And Kaspa is going to be ready pretty much to build things on, and our Doge, Kaspa Doge meme coins and stuff like that. Shout out to Miko Geno. So like, he created this beautiful blueprint pretty much of what is going on in the world of finance in the last 50 years. So I'm not going to bore you with all of these dates and all of these names and what they were trying to do, but basically they were trying to solve a problem, which is inflation, right, throughout all of these years. And eventually we did well, actually Satoshi Nakamoto came out with a BTC, right, and he partially solved that a problem with money and all of that, and of course that is being constantly solved. However, if it comes to efficiency and speed and every single problem that BTC is experiencing, Kaspa is solving that trilemma. However, if we are going to see like at the zoomed out picture of what is going on, Kaspa, the project itself, has great ambitions and all of that, and potentially it can be right next to BTC. That is definitely possible. However, if we are going to look at that zoomed out, that blueprint, we do have to understand that great things are coming with time. So what I'm going to do, guys, so I'm going to accumulate Kaspa for this current bull cycle. However, I'm going to keep some portion of my portfolio forever pretty much for Kaspa, just like Bitcoin maxis did it back in the days. And now let's cover some statistics for Kaspa. So the current reward for Kaspa is 117 Kaspas. The next reward is going to be 110. Next reduction is scheduled in 17 days, and the hash rate is currently sitting at 218 per hash per second. However, the highest ever hash rate was 234. So if we are going to look at addresses that are holding over 10,000 Kaspa, the last time you've been updated, it was on the 16th of April. And let's have a look. We're sitting at 72,550. And now we are sitting at 72,780, which gives us 230 new wallets that are holding over 10,000 Kaspa. So now if we are going to look at 100K, that's only 30 new addresses, within the last few days. But I still do believe that this is quite a good number. That accumulation, if we are going to to look at the zoomed out chart, guys, you know, that is very, very bullish to see pretty much, you know, on the project that you're investing, especially project like Kaspa, which is obviously proof of work, etc., etc. So now, guys, let's have a look at the Kaspa's chart on a daily, right? So the first things first, when I'm going to zoom in on Kaspa's chart, we can clearly see that Kaspa is at the moment, you know, quite bearish. It's printing lower lows. However, we are pretty much being supported by this level of 11 cents roughly. And now more time we are going to touch on that support, weaker it's going to become, and we finally might dip below, and the next technical level will be 10 cents, which we have actually dipped to, you know, the bottom of the candle wick actually dipped to that level. So guys, we could definitely see more pain if Bitcoin is going to see further pullback. So let's say if BTC is going to see pullback to 57 or 59k, then Kaspa's support would be, let's say, at around level of 9 cents. And again, I wouldn't necessarily be very happy if that is going to happen. However, if that is going to happen, I will have to treat this as an opportunity to dive in more to Kaspa, because I believe that if this dip is going to happen, that's going to be one of the last dips, major dips for Kaspa and alts in general, because, you know, sooner or later we are going to enter that box of only up territory on altcoins, and pullbacks are going to be less anticipated at that time. So now if BTC is going to see that bullish divergence and we are going to see the end of this current pullback, next Kaspa's pump could be quite massive. So it was very difficult to say on what kind of new pumps and new price discovery we are going to see. However, I do believe that we are definitely going to surpass all-time highs for Kaspa, which is sitting at 18 cents, and we could probably see big daily candles on Kaspa, let's say towards levels of 30 cents, perhaps even more, like let's say 50 cents, like half a dollar. The only thing I can say is that we do have these triangles with these breakouts. Okay, so if we are going to, let's say, I have basically moved that triangle over here, and you know, no matter how you cut it, Kaspa still making these triangles, which are most of the times bullish. So once we are going to, let's say, based on the technicals, 4th of May, we could technically see our breakout. However, that could happen much earlier, I believe. I wouldn't necessarily be that stressed. And now, guys, in order to put ourselves into perspective of what we can expect pretty much, let's cover BTC, and then we are going to look at altcoins on their own in general. So as of yesterday, we had only 18 million of inflows from BlackRock. However, we do have negative outflows, mostly from Grayscale and different players. So that looks quite negative. However, I would like to remind to everybody that we have Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs approved in Hong Kong. So as far as I'm aware, they're not trading yet. However, once they're going to be fully set up and they're going to be ready to pretty much roll in the market in Hong Kong, that is going to provide more liquidity into BTC and Ether. So of course, there's going to be much stronger alt season. So guys, you know, if we are going to look at things from zoomed out perspective for BTC, so let's first of all have a look at 2017 and what happened when we were consolidating slightly below the previous all-time high. So we can clearly see that we got rejected pretty much on the second candle when we reach all-time highs, and after that we saw only up territory for BTC. So if we are going to look at 2020, for example, we had straight up candles without any pullbacks on a monthly. However, it doesn't necessarily says that, you know, this cycle is going to be the same one as the previous one, because it's clearly not. BTC is pretty much pulling back right now around that area of all-time highs. However, if you're going to look at the green box, we still haven't reached that green box of only up territory for BTC. So this chart, for example, is showing that we could see the top around, you know, 250,000 USD for BTC, which I believe is quite reasonable. And now, guys, let's have a look at altcoins. So that chart is excluding Bitcoin and it's including Ethereum, and it's on a 2 weekly time frame, guys. So if we are going to look at, you know, the pullbacks that basically happened last cycle, we can clearly see that pretty much the same action is brewing. So that is a cycle of 2018-2021. Once altcoins got out of the Wyckoff accumulation and closed slightly above, that led alts to the previous bull cycle, we can clearly see that we saw a pullback, and after that we saw the parabola. So guys, this is exactly what is happening. We have closed above, right, and then we got pullback, and we are retesting that zone as a support. So now once we are going to finish that retest, we could potentially expect a parabola for altcoins. So guys, in my personal opinion, I don't think that this is the time to be shaken out of our bags. Don't let other people, you know, to shake you out of your bags. Of course, it's not a financial advice, but I do hope that you guys get a grasp of that chart. And now again, shout out to the Scalping Pro. If we are going to look at the things from the perspective of all-time highs, we still haven't reached these all-time highs, guys. guys, all right, on altcoins. So we still have quite a bit of time to pretty much accumulate, reaccumulate, and pretty much secure our portfolio and take out some profits. Okay, and now if we are going to look at the things from the perspective of pullbacks, the further pullbacks can definitely happen. I don't think that the next pullbacks are going to be as severe as this current one. However, you know, the future is going to show. Now, if we are going to look at the previous bull cycle, that was the pullback number 2. So then we had the next leg up after the pullback, and then we had the pullback number 3. And now if we are going to look at this current cycle, we can see that we are experiencing the second pullback now, guys. So how about the third one and the fourth one, right? That can possibly happen. That's why we do have to be prepared and make sure that we are taking out our profits along the way. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching that quick Kaspa, BTC and alt updates. I hope that you have guys enjoyed it, and I wish you have a great day or evening wherever you are in the world. Peace and love, crypto.